Welcome back, children. We are continuing the chapter Nutrition and Plants. We are in the subtopic Heterotrophic Nutrition. We have studied the parasites. Parasites are of two categories: parasitic plants, complete parasite and incomplete parasites. Then we have studied other type of heterotrophs, such as the what we call herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Herbivore, carnivore and omnivores are organisms which show holozoic type of nutrition. Holozoic. So parasitic nutrition over. Then holozoic, that is also over. Holozoic. Now we are coming to the third type of heterotrophic nutrition, that is called insectivorous plants. You know, insectivorous plants are plants which feed on insects. For example, pitcher plant, then Venus flytrap. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap, they trap the insects and get nutrition or nutrients from the insects. In pitcher plant, we can see the leaves. Suppose this is the leaf. Leaf is modified into a pitcher-like structure with a leaf. The leaf is modified into pitcher-like structure. This is the leaf, and it is modified into pitcher-like structure. You can see the pitcher-like structure. This pitcher-like structure contains a leaf. Inside the pitcher, we can see the hairs, which is coiled in downwards. When the insects are trapped inside, suppose insects, you can see the insects. Insects are trapped inside. The cells of the pitcher secrete the digestive juices. Cells of the pitcher secrete digestive juices and digest the insects. And they absorb the nutrients from the digested insects. In this way, pitcher plants get nutrients from the insects they digest by using various enzymes. Venus flytrap usually trap the insects by using certain polymer structures like this. Venus flytrap. The insects will be trapped in. And you can see usually the Venus flytrap plants grow in the soil deficient in the nutrients or nitrogen, because nitrogen is the main source of nitrogen. Plants need almost all plants need nitrogen for the synthesis of protein. So whatever mainly they get nitrogen from the insects. Venus flytrap usually grow in the soil which is not rich in nutrients, particularly nitrogen. Okay, so they get this nitrogen from the insects. So pitcher plant and Venus flytrap are the two insectivorous plants. They get nutrients from the insects. Clear? Clear. Now we are going to the next part of the heterotrophic nutrition. We can see here saprotrophs. What are saprotrophs? The organisms such as fungi and bacteria are called saprotrophs. Why? Because they feed on the dead and decaying matter. They feed on dead and decaying matter. Dead and decaying matter of plants and animals. When plants and animals die, they decompose. They are called dead and decaying matter. This bacteria and fungi secrete enzymes, which break down these dead bodies, and absorb nutrients from the dead bodies. So the fungi and the algae absorb nutrients from the dead bodies of plants and animals. They secrete enzymes for this. That enzymes break down the dead bodies, and from this they absorb the nutrients. This type of nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition. Saprotrophic saprotrophic nutrition, and the bacterial fungi which follow the saprotrophic nutrition is called saprotrophs or saprophytes. Saprotrophs or saprophytes. So now we know what are saprotrophic nutrition. So we understand fungi and bacteria which feed on the dead and decaying matter. They first primarily they secrete enzymes. These enzymes decompose the dead bodies and absorb the nutrients from them. So such a nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition, and fungi and bacteria are called saprophytes or saprotrophs. Clear? Clear. Right. Now we are going to the next subtopic, that is symbiosis. Symbiosis is a special type of saprophyte, heterotrophic nutrition shown by lichen. L-I-C-H-E-N. You know lichen are small plants which grow on the bark or outer surface of the trees. You might have seen certain patches of whitish brown that grows on the other trees, bark of the trees. So we call them lichen. Lichen contain alga and fungi. So lichen is a combination of alga and fungi. One alga and one fungi. What do this fungi synthesize? Fungi absorb water and mineral. Fungi absorb water and minerals. Fungi absorb water and minerals and give to algae. Algae cook food. Algae synthesize food and give to fungus. So fungi provide water and minerals to algae. Alga provide alga singular. Okay, one alga. Alga synthesize food and provide to fungus. Such an association for mutual benefit is called symbiotic nutrition or symbiotic association. So what is symbiotic association? Symbiotic association. Symbiotic association is association for mutual benefit. Fungi provide water and minerals to alga. Alga provide food to the fungus. In this way, symbiotic association, algae and fungi provide help each other. They help each other, mutually helping each other. Such a mutual interaction, association in nature is called symbiosis. You got it? Symbiosis can be found in many organisms. For example, rhizobium and leguminous plants. That also another example of symbiotic association. Rhizobium bacteria plus leguminous plants. Okay. Now we are coming to the last part of this chapter. We are coming to the last part of this chapter, replenishing the nutrients in the soil. What do you mean by this replenishing the nutrients? Due to continuous growth of the plants or crops in the soil, certain nutrients will be reduced in the soil. Particularly nitrogen, as most of the plants need nitrogen for the synthesis of proteins. Most of the plants absorb nitrogen from the soil. And as a result, continuous growth of the crops in the soil, nutrients like nitrogen will get reduced year after year. How can we replenish it? How can we re-provide it? How can we make the soil again rich in nutrients? So replenishing can be done by many ways. First of all, farmers add fertilizers and manures. Fertilizers and manures. Fertilizers and manures farmers add to the soil contain rich in phosphorus, potassium and nitrogen. NPK. That is what is called NPK. we can write in the order N nitrogen, P phosphorus, potassium, K, NPK. They are rich in NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So plants get this easy. But the second method is by nitrogen fixation. I have already told you nitrogen fixation. You know, in nitrogen fixation, the root nodules, I have already told you root nodules of which type of plants? Leguminous plants. Leguminous plants. Leguminous plants such as, what are the leguminous plants? Pea plants, moong, dal, and all these plants are generally called leguminous plants. In their root nodules, you can see the bacteria. Which bacteria? Rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria in the root nodules of these plants absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert nitrogen into nitrate. This nitrate, you know, enrich the soil with the nitrogen. Plants can easily absorb. So, the plants which grow, leguminous plants, or the soil which grows leguminous plants, the nitrogen will be automatically replenished. So, such a soil which the leguminous plants grow, no need of adding the fertilizers and manures. No need of adding fertilizers and manures or nitrogen. No need of adding nitrogen because the soil which contains leguminous plants, the nitrogen will be automatically brought to the soil. Rhizobium bacteria leaving the leguminous plants in the root nodules, they will absorb the nitrogen and convert nitrogen into nitrate. So such a soil in which the leguminous plants are grown, there is no need of adding nitrogen. So these are the main points where we have studied the insectivorous plants, saprotrophs, symbiosis. Replenishing nutrients in the soil, you can see two ways. First way, adding fertilizers and manures, then nitrogen fixation. These are the two methods by which the nutrients will be replenished in the soil. That's all from this chapter. Thank you.